Coffee.
Hey, did you bring enough for both of us?
Yeah, but we got a slight problem.
We have a slight problem. That doesn't sound good.
No, it's with the coffee. There's
Oh,
not enough of it.
well, all I've got's Pellegrino.
Well, should you have anything less?
No, no. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Hey, I want to test something. Um, I'm going to see if I'm going to uh, share my screen two. Um, click share. Um, can you see this, Gary? It's
Half of your head down to your nose is.
okay. It's one of
Oh,
the
now I can
pages.
see. I can see the explanation.
No.
No, expansion of local
Oh
college.
yeah, read it, but you can see the page.
Yes.
Okay, because one of the things I was going to do was show them this page and say, here's the real reason Scotts Bluff wanted Hiram Scott. Let's see, there's one, two, three, four, five, six, and it talks about, resident students at, the college and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
We were a money-making process for them.
Oh,
So,
really?
well, yeah, absolutely. That's the reason. This was a for-profit college. Hiram Scott
I
was.
really didn't think of it.
Yeah, they planned to make the guys that put this together, Hiram Scott and got it, reached out and got local funding and everything else. They did it as a business, saying it's going to bring a lot of money into Scotts Bluff, and they got guys with stores and doing all this. So we'll go over that. So I can show that. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing right now.
Well, didn't we have a s- like not a sponsor, but a somebody that helps the like fraternities? He was a multimillionaire landowner or something, an older gentleman. Didn't we have and I can't come up with a
Helping
word, but I'm
helping
trying.
just the fraternity?
Yes,
Not that I know of. I
I
never,
thought we did.
yeah, well,
A
not,
really nice guy.
yeah, I can tell you, while I was there, I never, we never had anything that way.
Well, you would have been there in
Yeah,
the time frame I'm thinking of.
yeah, no, no. There was a guy named R.J. Hindert who had been at another college and he was antique there, although it's somewhat dubious whether he was just a pledge or a member or, just what he was. But he came and said he was going to start a teak chapter in Hiram
I
Scott.
can I barely remember him
Yeah, yeah,
because I
and
did
he lasted only, um, I believe, the first semester, and then he was gone. Um, and then that's about the time that you and I took over as president and treasurer and
yeah.
so forth. Um,
But no,
I'm
this would
going
have
to
been
bring it
an
up.
older gentleman. I know we had a professor from the college that was like a he's I can't come up with a term like a
A
sponsor,
godfather.
helper, whatever be.
Yeah.
And you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my mind's not as good as I thought.
Oh, well,
But I know we had a school, and I think he would have been the financial guy. I can I can picture him.
I think Bob Sandberg was the financial guy.
No, wasn't Sandberg.
Okay. Because Sandberg's the one that eventually, when Marinaccio resigned, Sandberg became president.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's funny. You say it was a for-profit.
Oh yeah, that's why it eventually went out of business. Is because when there were lots of students there, they were making money. And I don't know how much they were taking out, but they were putting a lot of them back in for construction and all that kind of stuff, to help continue building it. What they didn't
Mhm.
anticipate was the fact that the only reason the college was building and building so fast was because of the Vietnam War. I mean, it's literally the only reason. And what happened when the war was winding down, they stopped getting students.
Did did the college own the ground,
Yeah,
the
they bought
corporation?
yeah, they bought the ground, but I don't know I don't know how the corporation worked in terms of I would imagine that people that put in money in the beginning and so forth became shareholders, if you will. But I don't know, how they scheduled it. I don't know whether it was a for-profit or whether it was a nonprofit. Um,
Because Mary Nacho's house was very nice.
yeah.
It had to be like, to me, a farmhouse that
Hmm.
that guy, whoever had the grounds, owned.
Yeah.
I mean, acres and acres.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, I know, they were, you know, in the beginning, they were raising funding from everybody they could. And almost all of it was private donations.
How did you come up with all this? By reading these news articles?
Well, a lot of it I knew, um, from when I was out there. But yeah, it's in some of those articles when you begin reading various ones and talk about it. They thought it also, was going to boost business within the town, as evidenced
Well,
by all of these ads. That suddenly we're going to have a lot more customers. Everybody's going to make a lot more money. It wasn't completely self-serving. It was an idea also to build the town to make some money, and you know everybody's going to make money.
the
Some of you
town,
are going to sell land, some of you are going to sell buildings that you wanted to sell, some of it, services.
well, the town originally had to have made a lot of money. When
Yeah,
you get 500 students coming in here that have more money than God collects on Sunday,
yeah,
and they were buying brand new cars,
oh yeah, yeah,
the the movie
yeah.
theater.
But I think what happened, they thought, at least what I believe, they knew the Vietnam War was going to end someday. See, the people that started Parsons also then moved on and got the Scottsbluff people involved and helped get it going. Parsons was the same kind of college. It
Right,
was a wartime college. And they thought that if they could get it well enough established, because there was no big university or anything in the western part of the state, there was only the University of Nebraska in the whole state. There were colleges, but no other
right.
universities. They thought it would become a second university and eventually and rival Grand Island and some of the other places that had colleges. And they didn't anticipate one, the war ending as soon as it did, and they didn't anticipate that the ability to then get students would be so difficult because it was the Vietnam War that was feeding that because they got two kinds of students. They would take anybody, but they got students that wanted to avoid the draft, and they got a lot of students that had flunked out, or quit or whatever another school. And that was their population. Well, when the war dried up, There was no
Yeah.
draft to avoid anymore. People weren't going to college just to avoid, getting drafted.
Well,
And
sit
that
back
dried
and
up a
think about,
huge portion of their people.
just think, how would they continue to recruit people?
That's the big question. They, if they'd have been able to last for 15, 20 years, they might have gotten to the point where they were stable enough to be a small college. They were never going to be a big university um, because there just wasn't the population to support it. And they were never going to compete with the University of Nebraska or University of
That would never
Colorado,
happen.
Colorado State, Wyoming. There were too many other well-established universities and colleges, and they weren't going to compete with them. So
It's
I don't know
interesting.
whether they were foolish or they were trying to make a quick buck.
I here again, I was concentrating on.
Yeah.
I'd like to say I studied every night. I went out there to strictly
Like,
study,
well, I tried to be a
but
good influence.
that wouldn't be the truth.
Yeah, I tried to be a good influence on you.
I know you were.
Yeah.
You had my back every night.
Yeah. Listen, we really enjoyed, yesterday lunch and the visit and
So did we.
so forth.
So did
So
we.
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Rosemary said, you know, Janine is just so great. She says, it's like we're sisters or something. She said, we just think the same things and
Mhm.
the same way. And of course,
Yeah.
uh, so
No, but it's really a pleasure to be around you. It really is, isn't it?
yeah, well,
After all the years that we put in.
yeah, yeah. Let's see. I'll have to think about that. I have to see if I should start, getting a friend charge.
I don't think so.
Oh,
Nah,
okay. Well,
nah.
oh, so Rosemary spent the day decorating the front of the house.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. So
We're done. I can see something out your window
yeah, but that's
behind you.
that's just a little tiny bit. I'll take some pictures or send you a short video or something and at some point. But
Yeah, you're going to send me that um, about finances.
yeah, I'm going to make a note right now because I forgot. Um,
How could you forget me? No, the food was excellent yesterday.
it was. I really like that diner. That's the second time you've taken us there. I like that diner. It's got
I
really
wouldn't mind it, unless you're going for a specific meal.
hmm
Uh, we figured, okay, you could have whatever you wanted.
Yeah,
I mean, like you had your sandwich and
right.
Jeanette had something different. She just had breakfast, basically.
Yeah,
And me, I get my salad.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that salad was
yeah.
excellent.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when we got home, the cannoli was wonderful. It was really good. I haven't had one that good for a long time.
That's one of our go-to places.
Uh-huh.
Um, even if we want to go out for breakfast or something,
Yeah,
there's plenty of places to
yeah,
eat around here.
yeah. See, I
And
like Alberto Lamberti, but you know, I don't know
Bob,
if I like it enough to spend a lot of money there.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I'm not a gourmet.
No, neither am I.
Yeah.
Where's Bob?
Well, I see he's connecting to audio. Hope he doesn't have trouble connecting in again. Right now is all it shows is that his microphone is off. I know he tried to get in last time, and I think he
Mhm.
eventually got in, except we couldn't see him. All he could do was listen to the meeting. So, Bob, if you're listening, oh, there he
Oh,
is.
there he is.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
We are all right.
We're doing real well.
What we got here? Three of us.
Just the three of us right now.
Okay. It's early yet. Ah, damn it.
I know Sav said he was coming in,
There he.
and you know, uh,
And Morris and I were just sitting here talking. he lives close now. He's about an hour away from me.
Hmm.
And yesterday, he and Rose Marie came on up, and we went out to lunch and had a real nice visit.
No.
I wish there were more brothers right around here that But George, where are you down in Georgia?
Yeah. I remember the bulk of the guys were from the Northeast.
Yeah.
Not too many of us from the Midwest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
One of the first memories I had when I went out there, Nebraska, as you know, especially at that time, was a very homogeneous state. There were not a lot of you know, nationalities, and everything was just very kind of white pudding. And I don't remember who it was, whether it was Sav or somebody, but I thought to myself, wait a minute, did I ever know an Italian? And I tried to think back, did I ever know anybody that was Italian? Did I ever know anybody that was, this or that? And because I never thought of people in those kind of terms, because it was such a homogeneous, society. It just, you know, uh, it was,
see, I came from a little town about 4 miles, 5 miles from here, Magnolia.
Oh.
And from the time it was kindergarten, yeah, I went with blacks, school with blacks, which was unusual in some areas. I went with all kinds of religion, and that's what Cherry Hill is. I mean, they are all different. I mean, and my kids grew up in a very diverse, uh, what can you say, a diverse field.
Yeah.
And, it was a great thing.
yeah. But see,
And,
Gary, it's just the opposite of us.
yeah,
Everybody, there were lots of religions, but they were all the same. They were
oh,
white
no,
Protestant.
we have everybody. This is
Oh, that was it.
a melting pot.
I
You
was
know,
in
I was
eighth
when
grade before I went to school with a black kid. I never
I
saw a
never
black
did
kid
either.
until I
Then we
was
had the
eighth
two
grade.
guys in the fraternity.
Yeah.
That was my first experience.
What's
Steve,
that?
Steve, you're looking really
Just black
serious.
folks.
Yeah.
And then I
Oh,
got in
hi,
the Army
everybody.
and then I found out, but
Mm-hmm.
who's there?
From
Steve.
kindergarten all the way up through high school and into college, we always very diverse right word in my population area.
Yeah.
So,
We weren't that lucky. And it wasn't just Nebraska, because I also lived in Colorado several times, and Idaho, and
Hey, John.
did the same thing in all of
Hey,
them.
Bob.
Hey, Steve.
Hi, Bob.
You there? There you are.
Yeah, I'm here.
and
Good.
where did we find Steve today?
We're in California. We came back 2 weeks ago. It's I think it's 0 or -1 in Chicago tonight. So this is a good place to be.
Well, over on the coast here, tonight we're at about 22.
Woo, baby.
So with about a 15-mile-an-hour wind, so that makes it even colder.
You got any
I'm
snow
at,
yet?
One chill factor had it done around here. The wind was about 20 mile an hour, which isn't bad in itself, but it sure did take the temperature down.
Yeah, it does. A couple of weeks ago, I went over to the beach to go fishing at night, and I hadn't bothered to check the weather before I went. And it was about 35 degrees, but there was a 40-mile-an-hour wind. And you couldn't even cast.
Well, the fish weren't biting either, were they?
I have no idea. My line fell into the water. So I just kind of admired it and picked up a couple of pieces of driftwood and came home.
Yeah, what do you want? It's winter time, you live in the Northeast, and it's gonna get cold.
Yeah.
By the way, we're gonna Agnes and I we've decided we're going to sell the place here and move back to Illinois. um, in Chicago. Well, we're going to move to the suburbs. We're going to move to what's called a continuing care facility.
Okay.
And we're both 80 and slowing down. And so we decided to do that. So I don't know what I've got a deposit there. And when they call me, that's when I'll put this place up for sale.
Yeah.
We'll keep our place down the loop in Chicago, but it's out in the suburbs, Orland Park. And Arch knows about that town. You lived
So does Bob.
Yeah.
Park Ridge? Oh, yeah.
Bob and I
Bob,
were in the same town for a while.
Park
Yeah.
Ridge?
Yeah,
Did you know each other?
Yeah,
Park
No.
Ridge. No, we didn't.
not till college.
No.
yeah,
Well, you're a youngster.
I know.
yeah, he is.
Did you go
Well,
to
how
Maine?
old are Arch? How old are you?
76.
Oh my God, what a puppy. What a
Remember
puppy.
how good you felt then?
Yeah. Really? I'm serious. I
I
could
know.
tell. You know, a year, but I look back 1 year and I could see a difference. I look back 2 years or, in my mind, and I'll tell you what, there is a damn difference. It's unbelievable the way it works at this
Agreed.
age.
No.
It goes the wrong way, but just keep exercising and eat right. And by the way, it's what is it? 5:10 here in Pacific, and I'm going to have dinner in about another 10 minutes. So I'm going to leave you guys in about 10 minutes and have dinner. So, but I wanted
Good.
to check in and
Steve, before you go, what's the name of the place you're going to?
Smith Crossing in Orland Park.
Okay.
And you
Thank
can
you.
look it up. It's a nice place. We lived in Orland Park about 20 years prior to moving downtown in the condo downtown in the high rise. So we're familiar with the area, familiar with the church, familiar with the shopping and everything there. So we decided to do it. And we'll be moving in. I ordered or I put a deposit on a specific unit, condo in there, and there's a waiting list. So depending on how long the waiting list is, that's when they call me there, I'll just put this guy up for sale here. So we'll
There
see
you
what
go.
happens.
The waiting list changes daily.
Yeah. You're right. I talked to one resident there and they says there's two and a half people a week, kicking the bucket or moving out or dying or whatever. But the turnover is 2.5 a week. But
Wow.
when you go to a continuing care facility, you have, your regular condo like Agnes and I have, regular living, but then they have, if you need special care, if you need memory care, all these different levels. They have 5 or 6 different units and buildings around there that if you need them, you got them. You're guaranteed to get in. So
Yeah, they're nice. They're nice facilities.
yes, and this one's a first class one. It's you walk in, you think you're in I don't know, it's pretty nice, nice hotel. It's really
Good.
nice. So we decided to do that. And
Good.
Well, you guys in the Northeast, we're looking at a place. In fact, we're on a waiting list at
You too.
Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
you too, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Whereabouts, Bob?
Yeah.
Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Oh, good. That's not far from Gary and I.
No,
No.
No.
Well, if we sell our house next year, we'll move up there.
Yeah,
And
great.
Pete LaBelle lives out in Harrisburg, which is probably a half hour from Lancaster.
That's right.
And Sam during
I spent
May to
many-
September is down here at the shore.
Oh, yeah.
I spent many, many days, weeks, years riding motorcycle. It's beautiful. The territory is
Yeah.
really great. And you could have your own horse and buggy with the
Trying to
Amish
quit.
people. You could be fit right in. You could get your whip out and do that.
Hey, I'll tell
Make
you
sure
what,
you bring that scoop
they're still on the road.
They are.
Those horses
Yeah.
and buggies are still on the road.
You would like it in Lancaster.
Oh, we've been up there a few times, and it's beautiful
Mm-hmm.
country.
What brought you to or made you decide to go to Lancaster?
Well, my
Yeah.
wife Went
Oh,
online
okay.
and called a lot of different places. We've looked in Iowa, Indiana, Illinois, and
Oh,
this was the best offering for
Okay.
I'll
what
be
you
darned.
got. Once
I'll
you're
be
in there,
darned.
you're in there and you pay no more as you proceed into assisted or nursing. Pay
Uh-huh.
one
Yeah.
fee.
Well,
So
I'll be darned.
Oh, that's good.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Hey,
well, take a look at the one in Orland Park, Bob.
Yeah, I will.
Now that you've it's Smith Crossing in Orland Park, and next time we're online, just let me know what you think of it. It's I don't know, it's first class, but as far as I know, I mean, I knew about it before we even went there because we lived in that community for 20 years. So it's
Yeah.
been there a while.
yeah.
How
And
big a facility is it?
I think there's right around 400 people in it. So I don't know how many units that is, maybe
Yeah.
250 units or so. Um, but it's a nice unit, but
Yeah.
Is it high rise or is it
it's four story.
4 story?
Yeah, four story, and underneath is because it's in Chicago, it's parking, and the garage is underneath the building in the basement, you park between the lines, so
Mm-hmm.
it's warm in the winter in there, it's heated, so that's a big deal. And that comes with it too. And three squares come with it, and everything's paid, you tax everything. All I have to do
So,
is buy whatever I need for my own. I have to pay my insurances and stuff like that. But go ahead, Art.
so it's a 4-story walk up. Is that why the turnover is so high?
Ah,
Hey,
no,
hey
there's
guys,
elevators all over the place.
I got a quick question before Steve goes.
Okay.
Gary and I talked about this the other day. In the last meeting, sometimes in these meetings, some stuff comes up that's, kind of personal and so forth, health matters or other matters and so forth. And as you know, I've been posting them out for people, but I had problems with my video editor for the last couple, and I got it fixed now. But when I put these out, when I send out the list of the fraternity, I have it set in an area so that without the link I send you, it's not public. You can't get to it. If you have that link, then you can get to it. Is everybody comfortable with me doing that? What I'd like to say is, if at any time we're doing, having a conversation that you'd prefer not be displayed even to the rest of the brothers, I can cut that out or do something. But I wanted you to know that's how it's done. Is that all
At
right with
this stage,
everybody?
I'm okay with anything. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So am
I
Ditto.
I.
mean,
Me
me
too.
too. Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Publish.
No,
All
no
right. Good.
problem.
All right. Good.
I mean, we trust each other to,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to come on here and go to
Yeah.
confession, but,
Yeah. That's all right.
but what I say with us guys, it's,
Yeah.
it's not confidential. It's to you.
Yeah. Okay. And
So,
then I will. The other thing is, I'll tell you real quick, so you'll have something to think about. Um, I got suspended from a
oh,
website from Star Herald Archives
oh,
about a week ago um, because I decided that I was going to go in and start searching the Star Ledger old ones, and so I started in searching HFC and TKE from 1965 through 70. And after I had downloaded about 71 pages and spent about 3 hours, I thought, oh, I'll come back to it, in a couple of days. I came back in and they had suspended my account because,
Why?
well,
why?
because it's all copyrighted and, the newspapers are. And I don't know whether they thought I was going to take the papers and make a book and then sell the book or what, but
Oh, yeah.
I'm working with them presently to try and get agreement. But what I'll do is, and I was going to show a couple of them tonight, and at different times, when we have a meeting, we'll put a couple up. But it answers a question of why did they decide to build a college out there, and you look at the paper and see what's there, and it kind of begins to explain why they decided to do it in the first place. Um, so, but anyway,
Right.
like I say, I downloaded 71 pages, and I'll pick out several each time and show them to you, and then we'll see if I can get permission from them to put together a booklet of the pages. I will, or if somebody has, I can email them to you, or I can set up something where you can go to a website called WeTransfer, and it'll let you download all of them as PDFs and look at them. Uh, but they're interesting. Found
Yeah.
one fraternity brothers, I don't remember which one, that was in one article about the police were looking for him because he had 7 unpaid parking tickets. So, there's just all kinds of things, not just ads, but people,
That's funny.
events, anything related to those two terms.
What newspaper was it, Morris?
It's called the Star Herald
And that's from Scottsbluff.
from
The
Scotts
Star-
Bluff. Yeah, I was actually a sports writer for them for about
Oh.
6 months until they discovered. I went in and said, you know what? I told my bosses, I'm not very good at this. And he thanked me for saying that because I was quitting. But I was good at writing, academic papers and news stories, but I was not a good sports writer. So, but it's called the Star Herald, and I can send you a link, to the site. I think I paid $20 for a 6 month, or something that way, or 3 month subscription, and I figured I could get everything I wanted out within 3 months till they suspended my account.
Yeah.
So,
How many more pages or whatever it is do you need? We can send Gary in, and Bob, and me.
now the problem is, I think they saw that they were all being downloaded. So even if I gave you my stuff and you logged in on my account,
No,
it
I
would
don't
still
want
be
yours.
flooded.
I'm
Oh.
thinking we can start from where you left off.
Well, there are probably 3,000 pages.
Oh,
Oh.
Well, you're thinking
Oh.
about you're going from 1965 to 1971, and the more you broaden it, I only had two search terms, HSC and TKE. If it had either or both of those,
Yeah.
then it would pop up in the search. But you can search for names. I'm going to try searching for specific names and see what I get there once I can get back in. But I gave Gary all 71. I put him on a small USB and stuck it in his computer and showed him how to get to it. And so, but if you're computer literate and you can do that, I can load them up to WeTransfer and you can go in, connect and log them in. But then you need Adobe, or some PDF reader and be able to expand them.
now Adobe, that's clay bricks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not doing any of that stuff.
And it's
I'll
in
wait for
Mexico.
you.
So at any
I'm the
rate,
acrobat.
as I go through, I'll find interesting ones and and like I say, I'm going to show you a couple of them later, and so we'll see, but we'll have something coming for you.
Nice.
All right.
It was really interesting before you two jumped on, Steve and John. Morris was telling me all about the history of Hiram Scott and why they came into being and who was financing it. And I find it interesting. I didn't know all this, all these years I was out there or back here, but I didn't know that was for a for-profit corporation. It wasn't for, I don't know, nonprofit. The college itself, they had a board of directors. They had their own stocks, and they were running it to make money, big money.
Well, that didn't work out.
Yeah. No.
It did at first
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
until the Vietnam War went away.
Yeah. In the net, I don't know how well it worked out, only because they bought a lot of land. They bought the Park Hotel, the Emory Hotel, downtown. They had rented stores, as you remember, in 65 when we went there. Classes were in storefronts downstairs, empty
Right.
storefronts.
Oh, I
Right.
didn't
They had
know
rented.
that.
Yeah, there was no classrooms. You went
Oh, yeah.
downstairs and there were places along where all the stores were on Main Street that were empty.
Wow.
You
And
took
you
a
went-
bus,
that's
you
where
got
you
out
went
of
to class.
Skinner Hall and and you catch the bus to go downtown, and then you go to class in the storefront.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
some of those places, I mean, there were a lot of them there. That one
Yeah.
was well, I had English down there, and history down there, I had everything down there.
Yeah.
And
I had music down there.
yeah, everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't have any classrooms other than downtown. You could catch the bus, unless you had your own car, you could drive down there, but the
Yeah.
bus would pick you up and bring you back.
I did, but I got 7 parking tickets. They're still looking for me.
Oh, there's the culprit.
Well, hey, maybe I
Oh,
can offer to
he's the
throw you
one,
to the
huh?
wolves and get my subscription back.
Yeah, it'd be a good story. I came in 67 and they had all the classrooms and everything. So I was
Jeez.
lucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
65 and 66, because I don't remember, but I can find out is exactly when they finished the classroom out by the Vanguard, dorms.
Yeah.
Well, they had Skinner Hall then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had Gary and Sav as my first roommates there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's where everybody was.
Was
Yeah.
Sam? I
Yeah.
remember you. Was Barry with us?
No, Sav. Sav was.
Fab.
The three of us.
Grimaldi.
Severio. Grimaldi, yes.
I thought there were 4.
No, we only had 3.
Okay.
I roomed with Barry later on in an apartment, but
That was right across from the house.
yeah, yeah,
That little box that they built.
yes.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. That was some good times.
There were.
Really was.
Huh?
Really was good times. A lot of good memories there, I'll tell you, for the time I was there, and of course you guys too. It was really nice. Met a lot of nice people. Had a great
I was
education.
surprised that they tore down the new dorms that they built after they closed. Yeah, you might have thought they could have used it for, I don't know where that home for the children, they could have used it that we gave Christmas parties at. Do you remember that?
Remember doing the parties, but not where.
It was like right across the street from where the library and all. It was out in the cornfield. It was a home. I don't know whether it was sponsored by the Catholic Church or who sponsored it, but they had all orphan children in it, and I enjoyed that.
Me too.
I
remember
enjoyed
picking
that.
up. You remember my old Buick? That blue Buick I had, there was no muffler on it. I had a radio on that, but you had to turn the radio off. I mean, it didn't go off with the ignition. So I think it was Sav made me a sign. He put it on the dashboard, says, "Shut off the damn radio." So he picked up one of these little kids to take them to town for the party. And this little kid's looking, he says, "Boy, that must be a good radio." Damn. No, I'm sorry. Shut off the goddamn radio. He said, "Oh, that's God says that." Yeah. Anyway.
I just remember that black old you had.
No, that was nice. I like
That
that.
was a gorgeous car.
Wish I still had it.
Yeah.
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 It
Jeez.
would be
Black
more worn
with the
out
red
than it was then.
interior.
You don't remember the beaters I had before that, though.
No.
That old Buick, the 51 Ford convertible, lasted a week.
What'd you do to it?
They blew a water jacket.
It had a
was
heart attack?
Sorry?
Well, hold on for a second.
Knees coming.
Uh-oh. I think he's going to pull a picture out.
Oh.
Nope.
Well, listen, you guys, I'm gonna go downstairs and have dinner with
All
my
right,
wife.
Steve, enjoy your meal.
Yeah, I will. It's it's 5:30, so
Thanks for coming in.
yes, my pleasure, and look forward to it. And I guess 1, 2, 3, 5 guys out of I don't know how many. That's I wish we had more just to share our spirit.
Well, yeah. Well,
Have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas
Yeah.
and a nice
Yeah.
New
I
Year.
will. Same to you
Merry
guys.
Christmas.
Have a great holiday, and
So
Happy
go
New
ahead.
Year and a healthy one. That's it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Adios for now. See you guys.
Adios.
Take care.
Okay,
Be
bye-bye.
safe, Steve.
Thank you.
We may see some more people come in because I know Sav sent me a couple of emails that he was going to plan to attend, and
Uh-huh.
Pete and so forth. So we'll see.
So John, what have you been up to?
I just got back from Florida. We got back about we landed about 3:30, and now I'm at the house. I was gone for about 18 days.
Well,
Nice.
that certainly sounds like a fun trip.
Laying on the beach.
No, my son moved there from Long Beach, California to Coral Gables, Florida.
Okay.
So we went down for a week to visit friends outside of Fort Myers, and then spent the rest of the time with him. So it was nice. It was very nice to be there, but I'm very tired.
I notice you're sitting inside instead of in the garage.
I thought about sitting in the garage to keep me awake because it's colder in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got snow yet?
It's raining right now. It's about 36. It'll come, but I'm in a sweet spot. It probably gets an inch or two at the most, and it goes away quickly. So that's good.
Wow.
What town are you in?
In Idaho, I'm in Star.
Star?
Yeah,
STAR?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah. How far are you from Boise?
Oh, 30 minutes.
Yeah. So he's in the western part of the state.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I've never moved. I lived in the house, and even when we were at school in Magnolia, right 3 or 4 miles from here. And then when Jeanette and I eventually got married, we had a little apartment over in a town called Runnymede, which is 3 miles from here. Then we bought this in 75, and it's in Cherry Hill. We've been here 50 years.
Wow.
So, we haven't gone anywhere.
And I'm
We
just at
stay
the
home.
opposite end of the spectrum.
Me too.
I've lived 27 different places
Wow.
in 4 states.
I've lived in 9 states. The longest I stayed in one house was 8 years. The one I'm in now, 5 years. That's the second.
No, we've been here for 20 years, going on 21. That's the longest
Uh,
I've ever been in a house.
How
22
many
of
years?
those were before I came to Jersey. So,
No, we've been here 50 years. I'm 7 miles, I think it is, from Philadelphia. And you can actually see, if you go certain areas right around the town, you can see the buildings in Philadelphia. So, if I want to go to a baseball game, the Phillies or Eagles or whatever be, I'm 15 minutes away. I mean, it's in the spectrum. If I wanted to watch the basketball, hockey, the Flyers,
But do you want to?
no.
I
No,
didn't think so.
best from home.
Yeah.
No. At one time, my brother-in-law's brother owned the Seattle Supersonics.
Hmm.
And while he played for both Portland and Seattle in his professional career in the 70s.
Nice.
And he's quite successful in the business world now. But what can I say? This has been a good place for me to live.
Life is good.
I'm an hour and 20 minutes from the shore. I'm hour and a half from the mountains in the Poconos. 2 hours, maybe hour and a half, I guess, to get to New York if I want to go up for a show, or go down to Washington, D.C., where my in-laws, sister-in-law lives. It's about 2.5 hours. But we're sort of pretty well located in a central area. We don't get hurricanes normally. We don't get tornadoes, occasionally little ones. Nothing like you guys got in the Midwest, but we did in Nebraska. This is a nice little area. And they're going to
Good for you.
carry me out feet first out of this place. But hey, Bob, did you live near Textrom?
Yes. We went to high school together.
Oh, okay.
And you know why he left Hiram Scott?
He
got
never
thrown out.
graduated?
No. What was the president's name? Marinaccio or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, he discovered that John was making false IDs. And he came in with a couple of other guys into his dorm room and he said, "You're out of here." And they threw him out for making IDs.
Oh,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, he was still at the school when I graduated. But is he still alive? Do you know?
No, he died in 2013.
Where was
Heart-
he?
Heart attack. So he was the first guy I met when I was in high school, my junior year, and we've been friends since. Good guy.
Maine East.
Yes. He was from Park Ridge and lived in
My
country.
dad went there.
Who did?
My dad went to Maine East. Rest
Did
his
he?
soul. Yeah,
I once have gone to South, but
I went to South. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. But no, I was always wondering what happened to him.
Well, I found Hiram Scott through him. He flunked out his first year. He applied to Parsons College in Iowa,
yeah.
which is Hiram Scott was kind of patterned after them. And I rode with him down to Maine East to send his transcripts out there. He said, "Why don't you send yours?" I said, "They're not going to take me. My grade point's too low." He said, "What do you got to lose?" Oh, okay. So I sent it out there and they accepted me, and imagine that. They wanted money.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
glad I went. It was a great place.
Yep.
Well,
it
I'll
sure
tell you, when I
was.
went there, and after the University of Nebraska told me that they really didn't need me anymore, they could handle it by themselves. It was August, and my mother said, "What are you going to do now? Are you going to go in the army, or what are you going to do? You got to do something." And she said, "Today's newspaper, they're starting this college out in Scotts Bluff, at the opposite end of the state." And she said, "Why don't you give them a call?" So I dialed the phone number in the paper. Somebody answered, and I said, I was thinking about enrolling in Hiram Scott. And she said, "Are you a high school student or what?" And I said, "No, I was at the university and I'm thinking of transferring out." I didn't say why.
She
And
said,
she didn't
"Right."
ask. And I was accepted over the phone.
Wow.
I didn't have to send any paperwork, nothing. I was accepted over the phone. Got a letter 2 or 3 days later, congratulating me.
I'm glad you were there.
I don't remember how I got. There was a meeting going to go on, and there were probably 75 people at the meeting, but I forget how we got contacted by a recruiter, one of the recruiters for the school, and my mother, myself, and Barry went to the meeting. And lo and behold, we were accepted. Miracles happen, I can.
Yeah.
And I told Morris this story several times. The first, we were coming out to Scotts Bluff. And Barry and I got on the airplane because we had to fly to Denver and then take Frontier to Scotts Bluff. And we're sitting in our seat. Barry turns to me. He says, "How in the hell would you ever talk me into this?" Then we got to Scotts Bluff and we got on the frontier there once. And I'm sitting next to a window and Barry's sitting next to me. And across the aisle is a priest with a Bible he's reading. And Barry pokes me in the side. He says, "Do you think that guy knows something that we don't?" Because he was reading the Bible. But yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad we all found it.
Yeah,
I
well,
can't
absolutely.
remember.
It
I-
changed the lives of, the 1,000 or so people that went through there.
Oh,
Yep.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
I've got
Absolutely.
a neighbor across the street that went there.
Uh-huh. Wow.
I didn't know him then, or not, none of
Uh-huh.
us did, but small world.
Yeah, it is. It
What's
is.
There's a
his
couple
name?
people's.
Tim Hess.
Huh?
Tim Hess, Hess is his name.
What, is he a bit younger?
Yeah, yes. He started in 66 or 7, I think.
Did he have red hair?
Did he what?
Have reddish hair?
I don't know because it's not red anymore. If it
Yeah.
is, it was.
I thought we had a Hess that pledged, but maybe not.
No, it wasn't him anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, he would have known.
Did he finish?
He did not. They closed up before he could graduate.
What did they do with the students? Did they all just transfer to smaller others? Is Parsons still running?
No,
I don't know.
Parsons closed down before Hiram Scott did.
Really?
Yeah,
I always wondered that. What happened to that school?
yeah. Well, like I said, they
The
ran
war
out,
ended.
they ran out of students just
Yeah.
like Hiram Scott did.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know.
that and they started to tighten their standards of who they were accepting, and that narrowed it even further.
Well, did they have to tighten the standards because of accreditation?
I have no idea. I think, when we started, there were about 400 of us that first year, in 65 in the fall. And by the end of 66, there was a handful left. They'd gotten rid of a lot of the guys that, had a great time, for 2 years.
Including R.J. Hindert.
Yeah. Yeah. He's the one that started it.
I don't
Nobody ever
remember
knew for
him. I
sure
remember
whether
the
he
name.
was even authorized to start a chapter.
I don't think so.
We decided at one point, you're right, Bob, that no, I don't think we were even authorized. But yet, there were times like when I was president, and Gary, I think, went with me, went to Denver to the teak chapter over there
Yeah.
and stayed a night and visited with them. And, eventually I think they got, accreditation from the national chapter.
Weren't we? We were TEKE as far as the fraternity was concerned, weren't we? Rather than TKE.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I think I've seen it TEKE and I've seen it TKE. And it was
I mean,
Epsilon.
as far as our chapter goes, we were TEKE, I think.
Yeah.
As I
I
recall.
think you're right, Bob.
Did we ever become a regular chapter, or were we a pledge group?
Not to my
National, I don't think
knowledge.
we had any status.
Yeah.
Well, we certainly didn't the first 3 years. I don't know after that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gone.
Yeah.
I got out in
Yeah.
68.
Yeah.
Spring or summer of 68. Never looked back. Though I love it. Yeah.
Gary and I, hung out a lot, together in college, like some of you guys had, guys that you hung with most of the time. And then after 68, when he graduated and so forth, and then I took a year and a half off and went back and finished, my last semester. we lost track of each other for, what, Gary, maybe 50 years, close to it.
Wow.
And we only caught up again with each other, a few years ago, 3 years.
And
4 years.
actually, where he's living now, one of my best friends said he was a state trooper and lived in Barnegat, where Morris is, probably half a mile away
Yeah,
for like 40 years. And I was visiting Jim and Lonnie for 30 years and didn't know Morris was half a mile away from me.
How'd you find each other?
I don't know.
I forget.
I don't know.
Goodwill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And
some way.
my
But
buddy who lived, what, half mile?
yeah,
Something like that. But it was, then
but
we got back together and
now we, for a couple
yesterday
of months we have lunch and
we had lunch
about an hour
together
apart, and
with our wives.
yeah. So
Rose had to come up for some doctor's appointments to
Yeah.
Cherry Health. So they came over to the house and then we went out to lunch.
yeah,
We spent good time. We
Yeah,
have a
last
great
summer,
time when we get
we
together.
had,
We really do.
Sam and Pete and Gary and I all go to lunch together in Philadelphia, or no, in Cherry Hill
In Cherry Hill.
at a nice restaurant. So, and Carmen DeCinqua, I don't know if you remember Carmen.
I remember him. Yeah.
Gary and I went to his funeral. We didn't even know he lived close to Gary.
Hmm.
He lived,
He lived probably 3-4 miles
yeah,
in a town called Collinswood.
yeah. But
His wife was really, really glad she'd heard so much about Hiram Scott, but never knew anybody.
You didn't tell her much, did you?
only
I said
only
her
the good
husband
stuff.
was the
That's
model
the highlights.
citizen.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm pretty beat, but I wanted to
Right.
come on.
Thank you
And
for joining in.
Yeah, if anybody else comes on, give them my best and Merry Christmas to all of you guys.
You too.
And Happy New Year. We'll see you next year.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
yeah. Take care, John.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the things, Bob, I'm going to show you something real quick. We'll see if you can see it. I'm going to share my screen. I showed Gary this a little bit ago. And let me go over here. All right. Can you see this screen? It's the college.
No.
Okay, you're not seeing that. All right.
No.
Oh, I got to click one more button.
Ah,
Now
no.
you can see it.
Screen sharing.
Yeah.
It
So
says you're starting it. Oh, there it is.
yeah. So it starts out at talking about, and this was from 67. Let me just see what the actual year was.
Look at those old ads.
So this was October 12th, 1966.
Oh, Scott's Bluff.
I mean, this helps explain it right here. Expansion of local colleges boosts city area economy. And everybody was going to make a lot of money out of it. And if you look at this, here's an ad, Murphy's, multiple vitamins, discount pharmacy, the Eagle Cafe. Everybody was putting the ads in all the papers, welcoming the students, and trying to get in. Come on, and we'll do better business. And a lot of the papers that I talked about earlier are, in there. And so it just,
And Bob, if you have these come up on the screen, you can enlarge them so you can actually read it.
Oh, yeah.
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 I mean, that's why I was saying if you had this thing called this PDF reader, you can make it as large as you want, and
Okay.
yeah,
Deja vu.
yeah. So we'll do that. But I want to get the account and see if I can get them to reinstate it. otherwise I've got the 71 pages and I've got a couple of more months,
What
and
would you have to do, Morris? Would you have to
I have to convince them that I'm not doing this
commercially?
to sell them or to, make money off of it or anything else. I have to convince them that I'm not doing it of something that's going to cause them to lose money.
Hmm.
And I've got a shot at it. I mean, uh, and if they want me to sign a paper that says, originally I thought, Bob, that I would get these pages down and I'd pick the best ones out and create a small booklet for everybody and make
Oh,
copies and
cool.
have Staples then, make booklets for me. And then I could surprise everybody and send them out. Um, and I might still be able to do that. That's kind of the ultimate goal.
That'd
Uh,
be fun.
because some of them just have lots of ads, but others are about Hiram Scott. There are places where some of them will mention, a particular person uh, or person activity or something that way, or something about the fraternity. Because that was one of the search things that I did was TKE, and it came up with several hundred, um, pages that had that. So, but they're interesting, and each one has when it was published. Like this was Wednesday, October 12th, 1966, and I've got pages under that search from 65 in the fall through 69.
Before you move that, what was Scottsbluff College?
Oh, Scottsbluff College was a junior college.
Oh, okay. I don't remember
And
that.
Scottsbluff College was a junior college, and it was there when Hiram Scott was there too.
Okay.
And it's still there. Uh,
Hmm.
but yeah, it's a junior college, and
Okay.
they were. I think they were just trying to get them all in. Um, they even had the Western Nebraska School of Nursing. Um,
That's where Ed Parker's wife came from,
uh-huh.
Whose wife?
Barbara.
Ed Parker's wife?
Yeah, she was a nurse. She was a nursing
In
student.
Scottsbluff? I don't remember that at all.
Yep,
Gosh.
yep. And then eventually they moved. They got married because he got her pregnant, and they moved back to New Jersey
Hmm.
in a town called Barnegat,
Yeah.
and or
No, they moved to Tuckerton.
Tuckerton. That's it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was a fireman there.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
not anymore.
he passed several years ago.
He passed away probably 10 years ago or
Did
more.
he? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a
Uh,
great guy.
yeah, but let me just
He was a real trip.
see each one of these that you
Good
see here,
friend of
Bob,
mine.
is a different page date. So that was 66. So let's see. Um, here's something from September 15th of 67. And then
I
remember
remember him.
Richard
Gargiulio or
Gargiulio.
something?
Pardon?
Rich Gargiulio?
Yeah, Rich Gargiulio. He was the first Hiram Scott student to actually go to graduate school afterwards.
No kidding.
Yeah, and Bob did not like him.
Who didn't like? Oh, Burrell?
Bob. Um, but so it goes on. HST 2000 grant to Western Wisconsin University, um, and just all kinds of things. There's one when Reagan came to town.
I
Uh,
remember that.
yeah,
I
and
do too.
Stromer, was there. Uh,
Congress of American Politics.
yeah, yeah,
Bobby Kennedy was there too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Pierre Salinger.
Oh, yeah.
You had Gerald Ford. You had I got the most of them in a booklet I still have from the time. they came there. Yep.
Yeah.
I took that course in 1968, the spring. Because that's when the elections were.
Yeah.
I can remember sitting in the class when Stromer was saying, before any of these speakers came to the college, their front people would call and ask, what are the people like? Are they farmers? Are they industrial? Are they, what do they like? What do they dislike? And, you know, so when you listen to their speech, it was almost like sitting in a class.
Hmm.
And it was interesting. It was, we used to get the cars from the Chevrolet dealer and drive the entourage around for the day. It was cool. A lot of fun.
But these are all pages, and somewhere on every page they're mentioning either HSC or teak or both. Like I said, I found the one where there was the fraternity brother who had 7 outstanding parking tickets and they were looking for him. And I don't know that they ever found him, but let's see, this was June of '67. It goes on. Hiram Scott, our best wishes to Hiram Scott.
Beautiful.
But so at any rate,
Oh,
I'm going to go through these and find some that pertain, that refer to teak in it and so forth, and see if I can get the account straightened out. And like I say, the long game is to be able to, produce something that might have 50 pages in it or something, and
yeah, that'd be fun.
copy and
Try
send.
to convince them that, look, this is a group of old guys. I mean,
Got that right.
yeah, just want to catch up with our memories.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
what can you say?
but
It's
so at any rate, we'll see how that goes, and I'll let you know next time, and
Okay.
we'll do it.
Let's see. Last time I talked to you, see, it was 2 months ago. I was on the Zoom call, and you said you were going to put out a replay of it.
Yeah, I didn't. I've still got it.
Oh, that's all. I just
But what happened, Bob, was there's a program that I use to do the editing of it before I put it up
okay.
and put the beginning screen in and the enter. And if there's something that, I shouldn't put in there, I cut it out. And that's been very rare, but there have been times when I've done that, or I've actually had a brother contact me afterwards and say, hey, can you cut this part out?
Really?
Yeah. And
Hmm.
so for some reason, it was turning everybody green. You may or may not remember there was one edition that I put out that I made a joke about, we're being the green team today or something, because everybody was green.
Huh.
And
Yeah.
the color
I
filters
don't
of the
remember
program, and
that.
I couldn't get it straightened out, so I abandoned that. I tried 2 others, um, and just about 2 weeks ago, I finally got everything straightened out and working. So I've got them. I'm going to put them up because they should be okay now, and including this one. But
Okay.
that's what happened is the video editor was turning people green or gray, and it wasn't. We
That's
couldn't see
after a
people.
night at Buddy Bar. Morrison, behind you to your right, there's a picture of a car. What is that?
Oh, that car. And when I was at Hiram Scott, Gary remembers that I had a '62 Galaxy 500 XL. It's
Okay.
white with red interior,
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's what we used. And uh, uh, some of the brothers would borrow once in a while under the condition that they had to put in $2 worth of gas.
That's half a tank.
Yeah, close to it, close to it. And
Gary, you
was
mentioned
where
my
you spent.
black holes. I remember I was dating a girl, Helen Fortune, and she was pledging some sorority there.
Yeah,
And she said, Bob, can I borrow your car? We're doing all this fun stuff. And I said, no. She said, why not? I said, because go crazy and listen to all these people and go drive it like crazy and off the road. And she said, oh, and she was upset with me.
Huh.
Who was
But
it?
when the thing was all over, they'd use somebody's car and they beat the shit out of it.
Hmm.
So I'm glad I didn't let her have it.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Helen Fortune.
Who was it?
Helen
Helen
Fortune.
Fortune.
Helen Fortune.
Yeah,
Doesn't ring a bell.
that didn't last long.
But no, that car had some looks to it. It was really beautiful. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, it was a good car. You know what happened to that car? When I left Hiram Scott, I gave it to Mike Esposito because it was sitting in the garage at a teak house, that we rented, and it didn't run. And Mike was working for a mechanic part time, and so I told him, I said, I can't do anything with it. It's just sitting there, and I was leaving and moving to Jersey, and so I gave it to him, and I don't know what happened to it after that. I'm assuming he got it running and did
Yeah,
whatever he did with it. But
price was right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Now, my senior year, I flew home, and my mother had gotten me I had to pay for it, but some friends of ours were selling a '64 Chevy Impala,
Mhm.
two-door hardtop. It had a six-cylinder in it, but it only had like 15,000 miles on it.
Hmm.
And
A nice car.
huh?
That's a nice car.
Yeah, and I drove that till I graduated and came back here, and eventually it the whole trunk area rotted out. But at one time, Bob, I actually had that tagged and registered ownership of at three different states at the same time.
Boy.
I had it in Jersey. I had it tagged and registered here with the tags on it. I took it to Nebraska. They tagged it and registered it with a title, but they didn't collect the old title or anything else.
Oh, geez.
And then when I went to uh, down to Colorado to live for a while, I had to register and title it down there. They didn't take any of the other paperwork. So I had it actually tagged and registered and titled in 3 states.
Oh, keep the old plates and just keep switching them.
yeah,
I finally gave the Colorado plates to my son-in-law. He has a collection down in the
Yeah.
basement with a bar. And I don't know what happened to the Nebraska tags,
yeah.
but the Colorado tags I gave him.
Where were you in Colorado?
Uh, Actually, Fort Collins.
Yeah. I
That's,
lived there for 6 months.
did you?
Yeah.
That's where, do you remember Roger May?
No.
Yeah, he wasn't in the fraternity.
He wasn't in the fraternity, but he hung around with
Yeah,
Morris and me and um there. And then I was working for Colorado State University in agricultural, doing a project for them. And I had an apartment across the mountains out in
Grand Junction,
Grand Junction, Colorado.
opposite side of the state.
Yes.
But then I decided, if you're going to stay in academic work, you have to get your master's and PhD.
Yeah.
And I said, nah, I'm
Oh,
headed
wow.
back to the East Coast. So I packed my bags and came back.
Yeah. One good thing I was telling somebody today, I've now, as of this year, I had 3 different careers. Teacher for 14 years, with an insurance company executive for 20 years, and then another one. And I've been retired longer than any career I ever had.
You're
Which,
lucky.
which was my goal. I retired when I was 56.
Oh, you beat me by a year. I retired at
56.
57.
Yeah, yeah,
I was 64 and a half when I retired.
yeah, yeah.
That was 16 years ago.
Yeah. God,
You know,
time flies. It's scary.
yeah, one incident you were talking about Hiram Scott. At 68, I was waiting to get, taken for the Army, and Gary and I joined the reserves instead. And so I wasn't in school. I worked for the Star Ledger for 6 months as a sports writer. Then I went to work in the sugar plant for a few months and decided to move back where Rosemary was, back in Jersey. And so I came back in January of 68 or 69 to finish. And so I finished my last semester. I was student teaching in a town about 40, 50 miles south of Scotts Bluff.
Huh.
And I was working from midnight to 8 in the, or yeah, midnight to 8 in the morning at the hotel next to Grampy's.
Jeez.
And
Yeah.
so I would get out of work and I would jump in the car and head for teaching because I was student teaching. And one day I was driving down south of Scotts Bluff and I was probably 10 miles, 15 miles outside. And all of a sudden on the radio comes out Morris Enyart. Morris Enyart, if you're listening, you forgot something at work. Morris, you forgot something. You need to contact your work. And I realized when I left, I locked the front door and I stuck the keys in my pocket.
Uh-oh.
Nobody could check out or check in, or so I
Jeez.
turned around, went back to the Star, whatever it was, motel, gave him the keys, jumped back, and I got back with 2 minutes to spare for
Oh.
teaching. Nowadays, they wouldn't, if somebody called them and said, "Can you announce this over your radio station?"
Oh, no way.
But
Wow. Yeah.
small town.
Where did you go after you graduated?
You asking me?
Yeah.
I actually graduated from Northern Illinois rather than Hiram Scott. So then I got drafted, spent 2 years in the Army in Colorado,
Mhm.
Right.
and went to work for Stanley Tools, spent a couple of years with them. And I worked for Sherwin-Williams in Colorado, lived in 4 cities there. And went back to work for Stanley Tools, worked for about 6 or 7 years, and then jumped to a competitor called Cooper Tools. It's now called Apex. But so anyway, I've been a tool salesman for forever.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough I could retire. The business had changed so much. You know, sales and
Oh, yeah.
marketing used to own or run businesses, and then finance took over, took away all the incentives and all the fun.
yeah,
The advent of the big boxes that changed markets and the pricing on stuff. It was a zoo. It was terrible. So
yeah,
I told my boss I'm going to retire. And he talked me into staying a little bit longer, but then I said, that's it. It was
yeah,
driving me nuts.
yeah. Well, I went to work when I quit teaching. I went to work. I'd gotten my doctorate in education and I was teaching, and then Continental Insurance hired me to work in their systems division. And then Continental went under and was going to completely shut down. And CNA in Chicago bought them. And I had gotten along with all the senior executives. And so I was one of 5 people in systems that they insisted stay with the company. And so for a year, I commuted back and forth to Chicago,
Oh,
out to Chicago from New Jersey, out to Chicago on Monday and home on Friday. And I did that for a year. And finally said, you know what? You got to find somebody else. I'll stay till you find them. And the global runoff division had stayed in New Jersey, and the president of that found out that I was quitting, and she hired me, and I was able to stay with them long enough till I, got a retirement out of it.
terrific.
So
Yeah.
I was always lucky.
You're racking up some airline points, weren't you?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Rosemary was home with 3 kids, raised them in the week.
Where was she from, Morris?
She was from New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. There's a story, a funny story. Well, it wasn't funny at the time, but is now. When she graduated in '68 with Gary, and her father and one of her older sisters came out for the graduation, and they had never been out there. And her father told her that if I'd have known what this place was like, I'd have never sent you out here, and so forth.
Oh my.
And so then, when she introduced me as her fiance to
Uh-oh.
him, one of his first words to me in the conversation was, people from the West aren't quite socially acceptable back East.
Oh my.
And I said, I completely understand. I said, out here, people consider people from the East rude, ignorant, and not well spoken. That was our first words.
Oh,
But you know
well,
what? Once
you
we
were-
got married, he never, ever, never gave me any trouble. He was very supportive. He was fine, but he was not happy.
I bet you he respected you for what you said back to him.
Well, leave
Good
that
for
above
you.
reproach. I figured, oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
No,
When I came back eventually, after working at CSU for a while, I came back and my mother at the time, well, it starts a little earlier. My dad, the week he got out of high school years ago, he spent 29 and a half years working for Sunoco, Sun Oil Company, in their executive offices in Philadelphia. And he became a head of insurance. And he was 47 and 1 week, and he had a heart attack and died.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like 14. And so when I came back to the East Coast, I was looking for a job. My mother at the time, well, the owners of Sunoco back then were the Pew family, P-E-W. And sometimes you may hear the Pew Trust Company. They were the owners of Sunoco. And my dad was the only one allowed to drive J. Howard Pew's limousines, except for the chauffeurs. He'd take the cars up to the, get them worked on, and then he'd bring them home, and then we'd go for a ride in them, air-conditioned cars. When he died, J. Howard Pew, who was chairman of the board of Sunoco, told my mother, if you ever need anything, because he came down to our house for the viewing. He said, if you ever need anything, call my office. And Mom, after she had a few jobs in South Jersey, working for RCA and etc. And she worked her way up from clerk all the way up to executive secretary.
Yeah.
Her boss was the vice president of the corporate finance. He was the vice president of finance for the whole shooting match. And she's talking to him one day, and she mentions to him that, I moved back and I'm looking for a job. He didn't say anything. He goes about his business. A little while later, he comes out with a piece of paper. Half Gary called this lady, and it was for a bank downtown, one of the big banks, Philly National. And so I give this lady a call. She says, we want you to come in for an interview. We know a department you probably fit in nicely. Here, Ray Paul, her boss, had called down there and said, because they handled all the money for Sunoco at the time.
Oh, wow.
And he was the executive vice president of the corporate. So he says, call. Wouldn't you know, I go in for an interview and I get the job like that. He had called down there and said, I think I have a guy that would be great for your company. And we got to know the people through my father who was passed.
Mhm.
The Pews and Pew, and that's the brother of. So I actually got a job and I had no idea what I was doing.
And
None.
you learned.
Huh? And he called down there and he said, I know somebody that's
Bob,
looking
what did
for a
you
job."
do? What did you do in Colorado when you were in the Army?
I was a finance clerk.
Oh, okay.
I got lucky.
All right.
Normally, when you get out of basic training, you go to AIT for your advanced training.
Yeah, I did. That's what I did.
Well, somewhere along the line, when I left basic, orders for Fort Carson as a track mechanic. Because I pumped gas in the summers, when I was
Uh-huh.
going to school. So actually, that to me didn't sound all that bad,
Yeah.
rather than being a gun bunny. So I got out there and checked into an artillery unit. And they said, "Do you know what a track vehicle is?" And I said, "Well, sounds like a tank." So, "Well, you don't sound qualified." I said, "I'm not." "What do you want to do?" I said, "I have a degree in finance. How about that?" So they said, "Oh, we need somebody up there." Boom, I went up there and exempt to duty and made E5 in less than a year. And it was just great. And I got an early out to boot.
Barry
Well,
got,
Barry, yeah, he and I got together out in Colorado Springs.
oh, did you?
Yeah. He had it made. He was in the Army, but stationed at Air Force Base in Peterson Field. And his barracks was like a dormitory. They had bedspreads and they had closets. I mean, it was just unbelievable. And the mess hall, oh my God, they had good food, cooked to order, and he had it made.
Yeah,
Wow.
he was drafted and spent 2 years in Colorado.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not bad duty.
No, doesn't sound like it. Doesn't sound
Well,
like
after Morris and I sort of split because of, he was going back to school and I was working for his dad and then working for CSU. And I decided to come back to the East Coast. We had joined the reserves in Colorado. And then I found a position back here in New Jersey in the reserves. And I spent 27 years in,
No kidding.
I'm retired
Wow.
from the reserve unit.
Did you get a pension from that?
I get a small pension, yes.
Okay.
$1,000 a month or something like that. But
Yeah.
it. More importantly than that, he gets TRICARE.
Oh, God, yes.
that's but when I was staying in, I had no idea that insurance was going to be
Oh,
big time because I don't have a secondary. I have TRICARE,
yeah.
and they pick up everything that Medicare doesn't.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's I don't worry about the pension. I worry about TRICARE for my wife and I.
Boy, you're
But
fortunate.
that's and I stayed in transportation, trucking. Um, I was in buses, big tour and charter buses.
Hmm.
Um, all that different area, big equipment. Cummins Engine Company, big diesel people.
Yep.
Yeah. And Onan generators, if you go buy a building, backup generating systems for, buildings, they're green.
Mhm.
The generators are green. I've worked, which is owned by Cummins. So I was always in the Cummins area. Very good. I made a good living. That's what counted.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, speaking of insurance, my supplemental when I got it was $99 a month. And I've had
Sure.
a bunch of surgeries and different stuff going on, and I've never paid a nickel. But now my premium, my monthly premium is $570 a month
Wow.
for
See,
the supplemental. It's outrageous, and I can't change.
Wow.